Good day, here are today's top stories from the Pna Headlines. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. is creating an independent commission to investigate alleged irregularities in the government's flood control projects. In an interview on Monday morning, President Marcos Jr. said an executive order is being finalized to formally establish the said commission. He explained that the body will be tasked to receive reports, conduct investigations, and recommend appropriate actions, including the possible filing of cases against individuals or entities involved in the anomalies. Marcos added that the scope of the probe may expand to cover other operations within the Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH. Meanwhile, Marcos accepted the resignation of DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan, citing command responsibility over the irregularities. The president also expressed confidence in the newly appointed Public Works Secretary Vince Dizon, highlighting his previous performance in the Department of Transportation. Marcos has instructed Dizon to carry out an organizational overhaul in the DPWH. He emphasized the need to end ghost projects, ensure proper use of public funds, and construct safe, future-ready infrastructure in line with the Bagong Pilipinas vision. In related developments, Giovanni Lopez has been appointed acting Secretary of the Department of Transportation, replacing Dizon.
The independent commission will be the investigative arm so that they will continue to investigate whatever information is received. Unfortunately, the more we look, the more we find. Kahit sa 2026 budget, marami pa rin siningit. So talagang it really needs to be cleaned out properly.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG, has suspended classes and government work in several areas on Monday due to inclement weather brought by the southwest monsoon, or habagat, and a low-pressure area, or LPA. In an advisory, the DILG suspended government work as well as classes in all levels in public and private schools in Metro Manila, Cavite, Bulacan, Laguna, Quezon Province, Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, Albay, Catanduanes, Sorsogon, Masbate, Northern Samar, Occidental Mindoro, Antique, Negros Occidental, Pampanga, and Rizal. According to the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC, Metro Manila, Cavite, Laguna, and Bulacan are at risk of flooding due to moderate to heavy rains. Pag-asa reports a low-pressure area, or LPA, located 570 kilometers east-northeast of Vira, Catanduanes, or 695 kilometers of Daet, Camarines Norte. While the LPA has a low chance of developing into a tropical cyclone, it will bring scattered rains and thunderstorms over the Bicol region, Aurora, Bulacan, Quezon, and Rizal. Meanwhile, the southwest monsoon will continue to affect Metro Manila, the Visayas, Mimaropa, and the rest of Central Luzon and Calabarzon. Starting today, the 1st of September, a 60-day suspension on the importation of regular and well-milled rice is in effect under Executive Order Number 93. The Department of Agriculture, or DA, will lead the implementation and monitoring of the suspension. It will report on the domestic rice supply, rice levels, and ensure food security during the suspension period. The DA will coordinate with the Department of Economy, Planning and Development, the Department of Trade and Industry, and the Bureau of Customs to enforce the policy, which runs from September 1 to October 30 unless otherwise amended. The suspension coincides with the peak local harvest season and does not cover specialty rice varieties not commonly grown in the Philippines. Rice prices previously dropped amid strong local production early this year, as well as the heavy arrival of imported rice following the drop in tariff rates. The DA recommended the suspension of rice importation to allow local rice to spread through the market, stabilize prices, and to help Filipino farmers sell their palay at fair and reasonable prices. Also today, the President emphasized the enduring role of the Philippine civil service, urging government workers to embrace reforms that address the 21st century governance challenges. In his message for the 125th Philippine Civil Service anniversary, Marcos highlighted the stability and continuity of the bureaucracy as essential to effective governance. The President described the civil service as the permanent bureaucracy that preserves institutional memory, mediates the policy implementation, and sustains the government's ability to deliver programs across regions and sectors. As the civil service enters its 125th year, Marcos urged agencies to see the milestone as an opportunity for reorientation, particularly in facing 21st century challenges such as digital governance, regulatory coherence, environmental accountability, and decentralized service delivery. The Philippine Civil Service was established on September 19, 1900, through Act No. 5 of the Philippine Commission. It has since evolved into a professionalized system with the Civil Service Commission as the central personnel agency. The CSC is leading a month-long celebration throughout the month of September. In our business news, the Social Security System Pension Reform Program, or PRP, will start this September in line with the President's directive and following consultations with Finance Secretary Ralph Recto. In a news release, SSS said the PRP features a structured 3-year increase in pensions for all pensioners and will not require any increase in contributions. Starting this month, pensioners will receive the first 3 annual increments, 10% for retirement and disability pensioners, and 5% for survivors or death pensioners. The program will benefit over 3.8 million individuals, including 2.6 million retirement, disability pensioners, and 1.2 million survivor pensioners. The total projected economic impact is 92.8 billion pesos from 2025 to 2027. Meanwhile, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas welcomed the favorable assessment by credit rating agency Moody's about the Philippines' access to external financing. In its latest ratings review, followed by a rating action report, Moody's noted the country's access to domestic and international funding markets, as well as the sufficient foreign currency reserves. These are seen to help the economy weather global capital flows unpredictably. In a statement, BSP Governor Eli Remolona Jr. said that the Philippines has built ample reserves and policy space to absorb external shocks. Remolona Jr. added that this will allow the agency to maintain the country's stability even in times of global uncertainty. And those are the latest and the biggest stories from the PNA headlines. For more news updates, visit our website pna.gov.ph or our Facebook and X account Philippine News Agency. You may also watch the PNA headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account and via the News and Information Bureau website under PNA News. I am William Theo. This is the PNA headlines, bringing you stories that unite the nation.